Hey everyone. Welcome to day 4 of the Mother Mary Priestess Healing. I'm sorry, not day 4, day 3. So it's so good to be here with you. Thank you, those of you who've been here since day 1, and those of you who might be here for the first time. It's really, I shared in my newsletter today that to not let that stop you. Just really, when you arrive, whichever day you end up watching first is perfect, and you can always go back and see the replays of the others. So I would love to see who's here. I've been neglecting each time to let you know how to share in the chat. If you don't know, there should be, it's a little tricky because what I'm seeing is different than what you're seeing, but there should be a little um tag or little thing that says live chat, and you click on there, and there you can write your name or that you're here or where you're watching from. And if you're watching the replay, you can always write a comment in the comments. So I'm excited. Hey Destiny, so glad that you're here. And Maureen, so glad you're here. Awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and actually I want to start with the card for today from Mother Mary. And today's card, I've been pulling a Mother Mary card from this wonderful oracle deck called the Mother Mary Oracle by Alana Fairchild. And today, as I was praying and preparing, hey Pamela, so glad you're here. I, asked what message for today, and we got Our Lady of the Sacred Waters. So look at this beautiful image, Our Lady of the Sacred Waters. And I'm just going to read just a little bit. It says, this oracle brings you a particular message. What you have been sensing emotionally has merit and usefulness, even if there is no logical explanation or supportive physical evidence as yet. Things are not always as they seem, but your emotional instincts will let you know what you need to know. Trust them. It says, this message comes when great movement internally will push external forms in your life to change. Your emotional release is energetically influential and can move your world, helping you to step forward with gracefulness. So this card here is all about releasing emotional baggage, right? Or emotional heaviness, emotional wounds. And what Mother Mary is saying here is that movement, as we do that, as we clear the heaviness, the toxicity, and some of it might be just energetically, your external world will flow with more ease. Because think about water. Water represents emotion. Water also represents flow. So this is a card all about flow, all about getting into the flow of your life, the flow of your soul's guidance. So it's been interesting the first 2 days. We had the opening ceremony on Tuesday, and Mother Mary in the meditation really brought in like that question when I led the meditation was, what is your special task for April? Right? Like that's what you went in to ask. So if you didn't watch that, you can always go back and see it. And then yesterday was also like very practical. It was this whole inner journey where you looked at your typical day with Mother Mary and your soul, and they showed you, your soul shared with you where during your day you could insert some what I call interrupter rituals, right? These moments which can literally be like a minute long, where you pause and you realign. So it's been interesting that Mother Mary, that through this healing, right, she said, this is going to heal 7 generations, past and future, timelines, all of this stuff. And yet it's been very, very practical, everyday guidance that has come through, which is as it should be, right? Because we can get lost kind of in the big vision. And Mother Mary has started this with like, let's go through your day. And that's what I heard was that we're setting the foundation. What is your special task for April? Where in your day is Mother Mary, is your soul? Remember, Mother Mary and your soul are on the same side, right? There's no argument. Mother Mary is a divine being, an ascended master who's here to support your path. So the question was, when during your day is your soul saying, in this moment, pause, go within? I shared that what came up for me was lunchtime, that was an important time. For me, I start my day with prayer and meditation. I end my day that way. It's the middle of the day where I can get a little lost, right? So they were saying, do something in the middle of the day. And again, that can be short. So today, here we are with emotional healing. And I just want to invite you again to please share. If you haven't shared that you are here, just on the live chat, just put your name. You can share that you're here. This will help me also to know who I'm pulling an oracle card for at the end. Of course, you have to say yes. It's not mandatory, but I would love to know if you're here. So this energy of emotional healing, we can have a lot of fears around that, right? It can feel so heavy. It can feel so, interestingly, we can have a lot of wounding around emotional healing. We can start to feel, hey, Diane, you're here. We can feel that, well, I want to move forward. If I look at the emotional stuff, it's going to distract me or sabotage me. And Mother Mary is not interested in sabotaging your path in any way, right? And also when you do this type of inner journey, when we gather together in prayer, when we gather together in meditation, this is the realm of miracles. This is where we're able to expand our ability to receive. And in this moment, what's coming through is the miracle of emotional healing. And so I did something really interesting too. I got my book, Answering Your Inner Calling, and I just said a prayer and was like, okay, I was really surprised because although this offering is really connected to the Priestess Path, we really, these first few days have been going, have been setting a foundation because we can't skip these steps. So I prayed and I just opened my book it was like, okay, whatever is supposed to be, for today. And it was the naming and embracing your fears, which goes perfectly with this card. And so what Mother Mary is bringing forward today is us releasing the two things to releasing the fear. Hey, Laura, good that you're here. Myrna, so glad you're here. Judy, so glad you're here. So it's releasing the fear of emotional healing, right? Releasing the fear that we're going to get re-traumatized, that we're going to get stuck if we do that. And the other fear, which was really interesting, is the fear of miraculous healing, which I know can seem like, why would we be scared of having a miracle? Because, miracles are the highest expression of love here on earth, right? A miracle is beyond our logical understanding. It is the realm of the divine. It is the realm of grace. And part of the Priestess Path is becoming what we call miracle ready, being receptive to miracles. Sometimes the miracle of healing is available to us, but either we've been stuck in the struggle for so long that we don't even realize it. We don't even realize, wait, there's a miracle waiting here for me. Or sometimes, as painful as the emotional pain can be, we've gotten so comfortable with it that it can be scary to our ego, to certain parts of us, to actually heal. So today, Mother Mary is really bringing this message, this healing forward of healing our fear of miracles. Maybe for you, it's not so much fear. Maybe it's feeling of unworthiness. Well, I'm not worthy to receive this miracle. Or maybe there's even fear of hoping for the healing, like, oh, I don't want to get my hopes up because if I do, then it doesn't happen. I'm going to be disappointed, or it means that God doesn't love me, or all these things that we create in our mind. And so here we are today because Mother Mary does not waste any time, right? She is here as this beautiful, grace-filled being, teacher. And, if this is your first time joining me, I want to back up a little bit and say that when I talk about the Ascended Masters, like Mother Mary, like Kuan Yin, like Green Tara, like Jesus, like Mahavatar Babaji, like Buddha, these are Ascended Masters from different spiritual traditions. And in everything that I teach and I offer, it is always beyond the doctrine or dogma of religion. So Mother Mary, to me, is this wise priestess teacher, merciful, compassionate, powerful, loving, who is here to support everyone regardless of spiritual paths. And specifically because that is my prayer, to initiate your leadership, to initiate the next cycle of your career, the next cycle of your service, the next cycle of your gifts and talents. Mother Mary is here to help you with that. Because as I've said over and over and over, when I did the Our Lady of Guadalupe gathering back in December, which I know some of you attended, and I believe that's on my YouTube channel. So if you didn't watch that and you want to go back and look at that, it is so powerful. And Our Lady of Guadalupe, that was a free offering too, so you could see that. Was really like, I need leaders. I need leaders. When I asked her, what do you want, this Lady of Guadalupe gathering in December around her feast day to be, she said, I need leaders. I need women and men who are willing to clear the unnecessary and step into the spotlight, whatever that looks like for you, and be ambassadors of the divine, be beacons of light, bring healing and joy and peace and all of the things that this world needs. And so here we are now in March, the last day of March. We're stepping into April, right? The month of Easter, where we celebrate the resurrection, where we celebrate rebirth. And she's preparing, that's why she said, do these 7 days, because this is like a huge clearing and jumpstart to what's going to be asked of you these next months. And remember that what is being asked of you is being asked of you from your own soul. This isn't, Mother Mary's plan. This is your, destiny is that promise we made to ourselves, right? Is your destiny is what you said before you incarnated in this lifetime, that you said you wanted to complete, you wanted to achieve your legacy of love. And Mother Mary and your soul are here to help you keep your promise to yourself. It's not about keeping any promises to Mother Mary. As far as keeping a promise to God or Spirit of the divine, it's all the same, right? Your soul is aligned with God's vision for your life, or the divine's vision for your life, or the creator, creatrix, goddess. And so we come back to that teaching. And if you're here and if you haven't said hi, please do that so I know that you're here. You could enter your name in the live chat. And if anything I'm saying is really speaking to you or something is coming through, please share it in the chat. It elevates our gathering when we can hear and connect with each other. So going back to releasing the fear of miracles, releasing the fear of receiving miracles, that miraculous healing that you have been praying for a long time, that maybe you're not even consciously aware of, but has been in your heart. And so how interesting that we would be scared of receiving the miracle. But Mother Mary's bringing that to us now. And the reason this is so essential is because we're living in times where there's a lot of, can seem when we look at the world that there is a lot of pain, there is a lot of challenge, there is a lot of crisis, there is a lot of confusion, all of that. And the priestess path, right? How do I define the priestess path? You don't have to call yourself a priestess if that word is not the one for you. You can use whatever word: healer, wellness professional, beacon of light, wisdom keeper, shaman, medicine woman, medicine man. That path, the priestess path, is the path of channeling unconditional love to yourself and to the world. That's the essence of it. It is unconditional love is what the world needs most above anything else. It is our divine birthright. And in order for us to let that energy of unconditional love, which flows from the divine through us out into the world, it does require a purification, a cleansing. Not a purification because we're dirty or sinful, but a purification of our old programming, conditioning, fears, trauma, wounds. And so miracles are like these beacons of grace that bring healing in a quantum way. What do I mean by a quantum way? Meaning that, for example, let's say you've been working on healing something for a very, very long time. Maybe something connected with a previous job or a relationship with your mother or whatever it is. And you've worked on it, and perhaps you've gone to therapists and you've done all sorts of healing, and it all has helped for sure. But there's still things that are left. And your logical mind might think, well, this is going to take a long time to heal. This is going to be more months, more years, more work. And yet your soul might know, actually, if you work on trusting the divine, if you focus on letting go of the fear of healing, this can be healed in an instant. What the Course in Miracles calls that holy instant. And why is that important? Because your leadership is needed now. So when Mother Mary, as Our Lady of Guadalupe, when she said, I need leaders, she also was bringing all of the miracles and the grace and the healing needed so that you can step into more leadership. Your voice needs to be heard, and that's really coming through. Your voice, your teachings, your writing, whatever, however you're going to share your unique medicine. It needs to happen sooner rather than later. And that's why miracles are so important. And that's why, as we go into our meditation, it's going to be about healing our fear of the miraculous, our fear of finally taking off the baggage, finally letting go of the old stuff that doesn't serve us, and finally being bold and brave enough to fully show yourself in your light. To risk people judging you. Because the truth is, when Mother Mary says, I need leaders, she doesn't mean that we have to go convince anyone of anything. There are plenty of people who are not interested in what I have to say, who would not only not be interested, who might not like what I have to say at all, who would not resonate with my teachings at all. It's not my job to convince them. I have no interest in convincing them. They will find their way another way, right? So, however, if we have wounds around wanting to please everyone or wanting to not be judged as crazy or weird or woo-woo or too out there, then we're going to constantly be holding back. This isn't to say that we have to hit people over the head with our message. Absolutely not. But it is to say that when the divine invites you to step forward and it makes you shake in your boots a little bit, or maybe a lot, that you still have the courage to be like, okay, if this is where I'm being guided to do, I will do that. I've shared many times before. I didn't want to write a book about priestessing. Like when I heard the word priestess, I was like, I am not saying that word out loud. I'm not going to have a book with that in the title. My parents are going to freak out. I really thought that because I was raised Catholic and there are no priestesses in the Catholic Church. But that's why I operate outside of organized religion, right? This is a spiritual movement. This isn't a religion. And so I had to go through all of that, like trying negotiating that I was like, well, what if I don't say that? What if I do this word instead? And then finally landing on like, no, this is the word that came through me, and this is what I'm here to teach and talk about. So this Destiny saying, yeah, is it possible that a part of me is afraid of spirituality, afraid to be spiritual, not the conscious part of me, but a shadow part? Absolutely, Destiny, for sure. Yes. We those parts of us that, yeah, I know some people call them, the shadow parts, or I typically talk about the parts of us that are burdened, right? That have wounds, that have fears. And so for you, Destiny, and anybody watching this who might relate to that question, or maybe for you, it's not that, maybe it's another fear. If we can bring the energy of compassion, and rather than like, well, how do I convince this part to get on board, or how do I get rid of that part, or how do I fix that part? It's more, how do I love that part? How do I get to know that part of me? What if I got curious and asked, and thank you, Destiny, for bringing this part forward, so I'll just use it as an example. What if I got curious and asked, why is this part afraid of me being spiritual? What is it afraid would happen? So for me, what was my part afraid would happen if I used the word priestess? Besides the obvious things that I shared, I also was afraid that people were going to be like, who is she to think she's a priestess? What makes her be able to say that? How did, there are all of these fears. And so I had to really be with that part of me and have compassion for that part. So this is a really perfect entryway into our meditation as we invite whatever fears might be coming forward. But remembering that we do this with Mother Mary, we do this with your beautiful soul. I'm not in charge here. Your soul is in charge. Your soul knows what you need. There's no pushing. There's no agenda. This is just whatever will come forth will be perfect. And when I lead you through this inner journey, release any pressure to like, oh my gosh, I have to have this big insight right now. No, you might just feel very relaxed. Maybe you'll feel tears coming down your eyes and you won't know why. That's all okay. Trust that whatever guidance is supposed to come will come at just the right time if it doesn't come consciously now. So let's go ahead and take some nice cleansing breaths. And just let yourself settle into your body. Take a moment to connect with your roots as we did, right? As we did in the opening ceremony. Just visualizing roots of light going down your legs and out the bottoms of your feet, deep, 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 deep into the earth. We just ask your soul to help you feel grounded and connected to Mother Earth, to feel safe and protected. And I remind you that you have a circle of grace, of love, of unconditional love surrounding you now. And that our whole circle, all of you here live, all of you who are watching the replay, whenever you watch the replay, there is a circle of grace and miracles and healing and protection around this whole journey. And so imagine that light from the earth traveling up your legs and up your spine, all the way to the crown of your head. So you're sitting a little straighter and landing in your heart. And bring your awareness to your heart center. And if it helps, you can bring the palms of your hands over your heart. And as you step into your heart, that temple of your heart chakra, it's okay if you don't know anything about chakras. Just think of it as a temple, the heart temple, the entryway to your soul. And if you know a lot about chakras, just be in that beginner's mind. And as you step into your heart's temple, I see a beautiful golden bubble of light. And this golden light starts to radiate from your heart in front of you. So it's like this golden ray of light emitting from your heart. And that beautiful golden path appears in front of you. This is the golden path. This is your path that represents your highest path of service, but service in a way that blesses you as you bless others. So see yourself standing on that beautiful golden path. And as you stand there, you're aware of all of this golden energy, golden stars, golden glitter, golden petals of roses lining the path. And you're feeling your deepening into a relaxed state. As we welcome beautiful Mother Mary, and we welcome your soul, we welcome your guardian angels who have traveled with you through every lifetime, through every challenge, through every celebration. And they are standing there just in such great honor. They're honoring your path. They have no judgment. And as you stand there on your path, you hear Mother Mary's voice welcoming you. She welcomes you as her daughter, as her son, as her holy child, right? She represents that divine mother. And she's inviting you to ask your heart the question, what part of me needs healing right now? What part of me is afraid of miracles, afraid of moving forward, afraid of healing, afraid of being hurt again, or being disappointed, or being traumatized? And invite that part of you to come forward. Reassuring this part that you're not going to hurt it, you're not going to judge it, you're not even going to try to change this part. So it might show up as a child, it might show up as a teenager, as a young adult. It might look just like you. It might not even look like a person. Maybe it just shows up as a symbol. So what I'm seeing is a garden, but it's a garden that is overgrown a bit. And there's a lot of like weeds, a lot of thorns. And so Mother Mary's saying this is representing all of the obstructions to seeing these beautiful parts of you that are actually wanting your love and your compassion. So as you stand and look at this garden that represents your inner world, let that golden light, like the sun, beam on this garden, radiate on this garden as it does the thorns, the weeds, the waste, anything that's unnecessary starts to dissolve, revealing a beautiful fertile soil, revealing Perhaps some shoots coming out of the soil, revealing perhaps some flowers that are ready to bloom. And Mother Mary stands above your garden, and she's cupping her hands and she's holding this water, this golden water. And she says, this is miraculous water. This is, Mother Mary often works through water. She's like, this is the waters of my miracles. And she asks you if you are ready, if you are willing to receive her miracles. She will sprinkle your garden with that holy water. And she says, it's okay if you're afraid. All I need is your willingness. But she's not going to force it because you have free will. And she will not judge you if you say, no, I'm not ready. And so if you are ready, if it feels like a yes, let her know. Say, yes, I am ready. And let her she pours this holy water on this garden. And as she pours this holy water, she puts this beautiful shield of light around it so that nothing but unconditional love, miracles, grace, growth, creativity can enter. And she comes to you and she brings this, she has another scoop of water. And if she says, if you are ready, she can bless you with these holy waters. If you are willing. And if you are willing, tell her yes as she pours this golden water over the crown of your head. It's this beautiful golden crystalline water that is bathing you on the inside and on the outside, all the way from the crown of your head, down your body, all the way to your toes. And she does this 3 times. And she's reminding us of that card. I think it was from the first day, the Our Lady of Miracles Manifest, where she was inviting you to be a vessel for miracles. So she is saying, as you let yourself receive miracles, you also initiate them for others. Thank you. And she's also saying, for those of you who might have not felt ready to receive this, she has so much compassion, and she just says to come back to this meditation. It is recorded, so you could come back and do it. Just do it as your heart guides you until you feel ready to receive that blessing. And even if you received it today, she's saying you can come back and receive it more, because every time you say yes to Mother Mary, every time you say yes to the miracle, you get open to more miracles. Every time you become more tender, more open. So finally, your aura is surrounded in this golden light. Thank Mother Mary, thank your soul. Receive gratitude from your soul and Mother Mary. Come back to the golden path. Come back to the golden energy in your heart. Come back to your body, to the earth. Feel those roots deep within your heart, going down through your legs, down into the earth. We ask your soul to integrate this meditation on all levels, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, across all space and time. And with that, we close this inner journey with a namaste. Namaste, everyone. And so just take some breaths, drink some water if you have water. I'm going to burn a little bit of sage as we ground. And remember that these meditations continue to work long after we're done with them, right? You're here on a 7-day journey. So but it's 7 days, it's like 7,000 years or something, right? When we work with the divine, we step outside of linear time. I'm so glad, Myrna. I felt that when you said that, felt so peaceful. Like when she poured that golden light over the crown of our head, I just felt like, oh, I just felt almost like a baptism, but it wasn't cold. Like sometimes when you get water and you can feel like a little cold, and this felt just so soothing on the inside and on the outside. I just felt like she was really, Mother Mary is so gentle and so powerful. It's just so amazing, right? She holds that beautiful paradox. So I would love to pull a card for you if you want me to, if so. And of course, feel free to share more if there's something else. How was that meditation for you? What came forward? Did you say yes? Were you able to say yes? How was that garden? It felt so beautiful when she watered it with her holy water. Laura, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, it was Our Lady of the Sacred Waters, right? And it was about healing those emotions. And so feeling emotional, so normal and actually so healthy. Like it's good, just letting it flow, So let's go ahead and pull cards for whoever says yes. So Myrna, I'm going to pull from the Keepers of the Light and by Kyle Gray. And so let's see. And of course, remember, these are all connected to what we talked about today and on this whole 7-day journey. So Myrna, Gaia, Earth connection. Be mindful of the planet. Come back to Earth. Stay grounded. And I want to add this because I know this very well. In the booklet, it says something like the Earth herself is so grateful for you, right? So this is really like the Mother Earth is your partner. Like she is seeing everything that you're doing to help uplift the planet and receive that blessing and come back to those roots. So that's really important. Come back to your roots. Come back to grounding. All right. Laura. Beautiful Laura. He was here before, Laura. I don't know if it was for you, but Saint Germain, karma releasing. Move beyond drama, create your own path, make room for good energy. And that's what we're all doing. We're all making room for good energy. Remember, with Saint Germain, that purple flame of transmutation. And if you don't know what that is, there are so many. You can look on YouTube, you can look it up. But yeah, it's like he's really, you're going through a big release. So this is, all of the cards are such a blessing. But there you go. You're making room for good energy. Love that. Judy, you said sure. I just want to make sure you mean for the card. So I just want to say, so just say yes later. I said, yes, I received Destiny. Okay, so Destiny. You said yes to the golden light. Beautiful. So I'm going to go to Maureen and Destiny. Okay, Destiny's saying yes for the card. Okay, perfect. All right, Destiny. Destiny, I'm wearing her pendant. You got Mary Magdalene. Teacher awakens. You have something important to share. Follow the inner call. Don't let anything stop you. All right. Mary Magdalene, she does not joke around about these things. I'm wearing her pendant. Look at those wings up, right? And with that anchored energy, she's here to help you, Destiny, as you say yes to your higher calling. So beautiful. And I'm going to Maureen. Perfect. Maureen, El Moria, awakening presence. The universe is with you. wear a cloak of protection and love. I love this guide. So, he's really saying, basically, the universe, God, source has your back. You are surrounded in protection and in love. It's like really shows up when we're kind of stepping into this whole new territory and cycle. So this is so perfect. Beautiful. And Pamela. All right. Pamela, Gaia is back. Earth connection. Be mindful of the planet. Come back to Earth. Stay grounded. And remember what I said to Myrna. It's also, if you don't have this deck, the message inside says, something like that, like the Earth herself is so grateful that you're here. So let yourself receive the groundedness, the healing, particularly connected to emotional flow. Connect to nature, which I know right now in Chicago is a little hard because it's been really cold, but and that's going to help with the flow. So I love this for you. And I love how she's holding the earth. It's like you're blessing the earth. Okay, Judy. All right, you're welcome, Maureen. And I think Judy is the last one. So Judy, Kali Ma, facing fear. Kali Ma is one of my favorite guides. Major spiritual changes are unfolding. This is your chance to soar. So as another oracle deck, not this one, but says Kali Ma is as subtle as a sledgehammer. Meaning she's not, she shows up when it's like, all right, she's like that. She's like that mother energy, but that mother energy that is so loving. She just loves you and adores you. And also is like, I know what you're capable of. I know your potential. I'm going to just keep giving you that nudge, push, shove sometimes. Very loving shove to do those things that you've been scared to do. Like Kali Ma, that's Kali Ma. That's how she is. She's the one who initiated my Priestess Path. Many of you have heard that story, right? That she's the one. I was meditating on my Kali Ma altar, scared because my daughter was in pain and, healing journey of her own. And, I was like, I need Kali Ma. She's that tough warrior, loving mama bear goddess. And she was the one that was like, priestess, right? She's the one that initiated that path for me. So congratulations, Judy. All right. So I think I pulled for everyone. Yes, Destiny, I'm glad to hear that. She helps me a lot. Yeah, Kali Ma is just amazing. Works so beautifully with Mother Mary. Well, I will see. Oh, tomorrow is day 4. It is at 1:00. So tomorrow's earlier. I will put it in my newsletter. Thank you for understanding that the times are all different because when Mother Mary told me to do this, I already had a lot of things scheduled in my calendar. So I was just trusting it's on divine timing and it's all working well. And I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Drink lots of water, ground, keep connecting to Mother Mary. She's here to support you throughout your day. Bye, everyone. See ya.